what was crazy is I manifested, like I had that image in my head, right? I didn't know how it was going to come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that post happened, I had almost 150 orders on the floor that I packed all in my basement with my family. And I took that same picture of me on the floor surrounded by my packages. And it was one of those things where
just checking boxes.
You know, I mean, here's what I also believe about manifestation is that the universe may show you these opportunities, but it's up to you to take advantage of them.
Do you have a brilliant product idea, but don't know where to start to get it made? Or are you looking to level up your product, but afraid to take it overseas? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Erin. And we are
the Sourcing Gals, your trusted guides to everything you need to know about sourcing, manufacturing, and scaling your product overseas. Whether you are just starting out or you've been making your own product for a while, we are here to help women source products overseas without the overwhelm.
In each episode, we'll share insider tips, actionable strategies, and inspiring stories to help you source more effectively, save time, and boost your profits. Duh! We know how hard it can be to juggle the ins and outs of product development, but don't worry, we've got your back.
So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into how you can grow your business,
make more money,
and turn your products into profit. Welcome to
the Sourcing Gals. Now let's get started. High five.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to
the Sourcing Gals.
We are here for a very special episode.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Again, if you're watching, this environment is a little different than our typical studio. For those that are not watching, we are in a bougie hotel room.
Yes.
A place that we both wanted to stay right here in Columbus. And we did a bit of some would call it a staycation, but it was not. It was a working sesh. You called it a corporate retreat.
Yes.
But I also want to say like it's a non-corporate corporate retreat because we're not corporate.
Well, I actually did put into Chat GPT, like what's a cooler way to say corporate retreat? Because I always have to like check myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm way too formal, but,
did you have anything good?
Well, then I went into my massage. Talk about bougie.
You know, that's okay. Yeah. Let's talk about what we did yesterday. So we knew we needed a planning session. It's been kind of a fast and furious
6 months,
6 months, like wild. Lots of changes for both of us career wise. You know, summer is here. So we are also mom duty and all the things with summertime and kids not being full-time in school. So we, amongst the craziness, which I leave for Chicago tomorrow, which is like not ideal, but
I think tonight.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is tonight. Thank you.
I think you leave today.
I do leave today. So my point of all that is that our lives are crazy, but we said we need to make some time to go and plan and dream and manifest because we feel so excited about all the things that are unfolding right now for us with the Sourcing Gals. And we really wanted to get marker to dry erase. Like we'll maybe take a picture at some point because it's hilarious, but we brought our own dry erase boards.
We did.
Colored markers to the hotel. People were like staring at us when we're walking in. I'm like, don't mind us. Just a little work sesh.
We just bring our own marker boards places.
But again, the point was that we really felt like we're at this place where we have a lot of different ways we can go. And we wanted to write it all down. And also, as this is two of us, get aligned with each other on what feels good, what feels like opportunity. And then we did a lot of math last night too. Fun math.
A lot of fun math. I think we talked about math in our last episode.
We did talk about math.
But I think that when you are running a business in this day and age, especially one that's digitally based, which is somewhat new for both of us, we're both product people.
Yes.
So when we're working in a digital thing, it's like every week when we get together, it's like, what are the deliverables this week? What are we doing now? What do we need to record? And so dreaming big and dreaming in the future and taking a step back and thinking, what do we want this to look like? You know, it's something that doesn't get done on the daily. So we want to take this time out because the last time I think we did this was in December of last year. And that's when we were like, we recorded our podcast intro.
Yeah. And we were both still working our corporate jobs, by the way, at that point. We just said, we're going to just do this because it's fun. We want to help people. And so we started it with not necessarily all the intentions of where we are today. I mean, I think maybe we knew where we wanted to go and we kind of manifested it in many ways in a great way, but we did it just because we felt pulled to do it. And it was like progress over perfection again, that I said last episode. I think like, let's just figure it out. And it's going to be sloppy and the lighting's going to be shit. And there were definitely many times where we're like, oh, that didn't actually record us. So we got to do that all over again, right? The sound, the sound wasn't on. The point is, like, we just did it. We jumped in and we figured it out. And now I feel like we're kind of old pros here.
Yes. And we got to the point where we're like, all right, we attacked that thing. Now, what are we doing with this? What's next?
Yeah.
Based on how the last 6 months have gone, based on how the course is progressing. Where do we see this going?
Yeah. So I think, again, the purpose of this weekend or this night that we had together was really to get it on paper. And I'll say that for those that are, you know, I encourage others to do this. Like, we started the night with one idea and it evolved, like it changed, and we kept leveling ourselves up again and again. We're like, but wait, it could be bigger, but wait, it could be bigger.
Well, yeah. Cause at dinner we were both like, yes, that is exactly what we're going to do. 100%. And then we got the marker boards out. We got the calculators out and we're like, actually.
And by 1 a.m. we were like taking over the world.
Yes.
Basically, which I think is great. And I love having someone to do this with, because
likewise,
I love accountability. I love audible working through of problems. And I think we push each other, you know, to think bigger. And actually, when you think bigger, it doesn't necessarily mean more work. If anything, it could mean less work.
Yes.
Because we're going after the big things that are going to move the needle and not all the little things that have to add up to make something big.
Yes. Which is exactly where we landed.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
I think that in the months leading up to now, we both had a lot of ideas. We would consistently say, what do you think about this? Or we should take it in this direction, or we should do this next. But it was never like super intentional. And we kept saying, we need to get a time to be intentional, to put this down on paper, because I think we both believe that saying something out loud, putting it down on paper, or in our case, marker boards, means that we are legitimately speaking it into reality. I think that voicing your vision is probably the number one way to hold yourself accountable and to make it happen. Because, and I think we talked about this in a previous woo-woo episode, but I firmly believe that if a mere concept of an idea lives in your mind, hitting it is going to be so hard. It's consistently a moving target. And although we always adapt what we're doing, I think that we've been very good about saying, okay, here's our goal. Here's where we want to be next. And we are going to put it out into the universe. We're going to put it on our board. We're going to put it on a vision thing, a dream mapping. We're going to speak it into reality.
Yeah. And I think it's really important. I actually had a very cool speak into reality thing happen for me this week in my other business at Piper and Mint. We in January did vision boards together. Like literal Mod Podge vision boards, right? I had a podcast microphone up there. I had multiple streams of income up there. And I had a picture of this girl surrounded by maybe 50 packages. Like, obviously she was an online seller. All the packages were the same. So she must have had a big day of sales, right? And she was sitting on the floor with all these packages around her. And I'm like, that's going to be me. Like, sometime this year, that's going to be me. And how cool is it that Miss Valerie Bertinelli posted about my PJs, slide into my DMs this week, and decided to post in her feed, like her feed, I say in her main feed. She posted me on stories and then chose to repost in her feed. I gave her a promo code, just on a whim. She's in my DMs. Let me just see if I can provide her something that can serve her audience and followers. And what was crazy is I manifested, like, I had that image in my head, right? I didn't know how it was going to come to fruition. But then after that post happened, I had almost 150 orders on the floor that I packed all in my basement with my family. And I took that same picture of me on the floor surrounded by my packages. And it was one of those things where
just checking boxes,
you know, I mean, but here's what I also believe about manifestation is that the universe may show you these opportunities, but it's up to you to take advantage of them,
Yes.
right? A friend had texted me and said, OMG, Valerie posted on her story, she's wearing your PJ. She wasn't talking about my PJ. She was just in them. And so I screenshotted it. I threw it in my stories. I tagged her in the whim that like maybe she would reply. And next thing you know, she replied and said, I love them. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me send you more. She goes, no, it's all good. I have all the colors. I don't need any more. And I'm like, okay, great. What else can I give you? And so I said, what about a promotional discount code for your followers? And she's like, that would be amazing. And so the universe set that up. I had a great friend who had her eyes open for me and was looking out for me and texted me that morning and said, you need to do something with this, right? And I easily could have just texted her and said, thanks for wearing these, heart emoji, like, love you, Val, right? But I chose to take advantage of the opportunity, not knowing if it was going to work or not. And like, holy shit, it worked, right?
Yeah.
And so now I feel like her and I are besties. Like she's sliding in my DMs still and commenting on things, which is so awesome. But again, yes, I manifested it. But if I hadn't taken that next step, that probably wouldn't have been the picture with me on the floor with the orders. Like it might have been another opportunity,
Right.
but it was because I saw it and I'm like, okay, this is happening. Like, let's go. Let's just try. And sometimes that's scary. Like it's scary to just throw yourself out there. It's scary to say it out loud. Like, hey, do you want to collab with me? This like crazy mega star and influencer. But if I didn't say it out loud, if I didn't write it to her, if I didn't, you know, in the beginning, think it, that's one thing, but then actually do something with it. Like it wouldn't have been the week that I had.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like back all the way up to the picture of you or the person sitting on the floor surrounded by packages. You put that on your vision board and then you took the inspired action to make it happen based on what the universe lined up for you. And there you go.
I know.
Done. But if you would have never taken that very first step, that wouldn't have been in your mind and
100%.
you wouldn't have been gaming for a situation.
You're so true.
Like that.
It's so true. So I feel like sometimes it can feel scary to say the thing out loud, right?
Sure. In January, when you put that on your board, you're like, I know, you know.
Yeah, this feels a little aggressive, guys, but I'm just going to do it, right? Like it's so interesting how you can easily downplay your own thoughts and your own dreams like that, right? And I think it especially gets harder when you start to say it out loud, because if you're not with other people who think the way you think, you come off as a little cray.
Yeah.
Like I consider people that don't really know me. It's like, I have a bit of like unbridled craziness in me, but that's also why I believe like some big stuff happens.
Yeah.
Because I like have that, I'm not afraid to say the crazy thing. And sometimes I still feel embarrassed a lot of times. Like I remember talking to my PR girl the other day and I was like, okay, I have this crazy idea for Drew Barrymore. And I felt embarrassed saying it out loud. But guess what? I said it out loud to her and like, she's got some doors opening for me with that conversation, you know? And it was something that again, I was just like, this is pie in the sky. This is so silly. Like who am I? I'm the, you know, the startup, blah, blah, blah. But once I got over that uncomfortability and just said it, like some shit's happening now.
That just like spurred a thought for me too, where we talked about this a little bit last night, but I grew up in a family of humility, of you put your head down and you do the work and you just like,
and humility to a fault. It's okay to be, there's a right place to be humble, but this is another level of humility.
Right. Exactly. But I spent the first 30, 35, maybe 40 years of my life, like, you know, I'm just going to like sit over here and do my thing and be quiet about it. And I'm not going to be the squeaky wheel and it will work out for me. And you know what? That didn't work. It didn't work at all. I was consistently in work and in life, like passed over for opportunities because I actually just never said out loud that I wanted that opportunity. Like no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
No one was like, oh, Erin would love to be, you know, considered for X. But now I'm like, hey, I'd love to be considered for that. Or this is a huge dream of mine. That would be great. And so it happens more and more because I verbalize the fact that I actually want it.
Yeah.
And so not only is it putting it out there into the universe in a way where I am now accountable and just following through on the things that I want, but also the people who surround me in my network, your PR gal, the girl looking out for you on social, like these people now have their antenna up for you, for your opportunities, and are going to make connections where possible.
And I think it's also, we talked about this last night too, you have to get to a place where you believe you deserve it. Because I think you can think all these things, but deep down, if you still are really, and doubt happens, trust me, I doubt myself all the time, but I also have this like burning in my belly that's like, no, I think this is still the right thing. And like, I really think there's a way to get this done. So I always try to tell people if they're making leaps. I was actually texting with someone from an entrepreneurial group that I'm a part of, and he's thinking about taking a really big job change. And I said, you're fully capable of doing it. Like you've proven that you can do it, but you have to believe that you can do it. Like if you truly don't believe it, the universe, it's just going to be a little bit choppier. Like you'll still get through it, but it's going to be a lot choppier. So getting to that place of inner peace where it's like, no, I am worthy. These dreams are not like, they might be crazy, but they're not unachievable.
No.
And if not you, who else? Right? We talked about that. Like, if not you, Erin, paving the way for your daughter. I said, for every step you take forward, Maeve's one step closer to her starting gate. Right? So we as women have to do these things, even though it might feel uncomfortable, might feel scary, might feel stupid, whatever you want to, whatever people might say. But if we don't start, then the woman behind us is that much further back.
Yeah.
So I think we all have to find that confidence, that power within us, because we all have it. It's there.
Yeah. And I don't want to gloss over the fact that there are legitimate reasons why people may not speak their desire, their dreams out loud. And it does put you in a vulnerable position of kind of like radical accountability. And which I laugh sometimes because people will be like, hey, Erin, how's that one thing you were working on? And I'm like, it's still going. Like maybe I put a pin in it, but like, it's still going.
And it's also okay to try something. And I want to say fail's not the right word. Change your mind. Like, yeah, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed. Hello, like I'm the walking undiagnosed ADD lady over here. Like, oh, look at that book that happened to be on our coffee stand here at the Junto. No idea is final.
No idea is final.
It is an evolution. And a lot of times the crazy ideas I have or the things I start, a lot of times that's not the end game, but it leads me to the next thing.
It leads you to the next thing.
So it's funny when talking about like speaking things out loud. We go to get massages yesterday, right?
Yes. Corporate retreat.
Non-corporate corporate retreat, I'm going to call it. And we said, we got to relax because it's been a lot for both of us as of late. So we're going to go get relaxed. And I had a little bit of a chatty masseuse who I loved. It was great. He was wonderful and he was so good and he was very respectful, but I was engaging with him. So he was engaging back and he was asking, what we're here for, if it was for anything specific. And I said, yes, we're doing this retreat and planning. And I told him about our podcast and what we're doing. And he's like, that's so cool. I've actually had my own product idea. And I was like, oh, tell me about it. So as he's like digging into my shoulders, I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. I'm trying to get my brain off of the knots that he's undoing. Again, he's a masseuse and he's like, my hands are only going to work for so long. And I can already see the future where I'm not going to have the same strength to keep doing what I'm doing. And he also does like deep muscle tissue stuff. So he's not just like your topical masseuse. He really goes, like he's very specialized in what he does. So he had said, I've been thinking up some tools of like I can replace my hands with these tools. And he's like, to be honest, I've never spoken that out loud.
That's so cool.
And I was like, oh, buddy, it's just starting now. I'm like, now you gotta listen to our podcast. You got to get inspired. Like he's like, yeah, I guess I could use molding clay and make sure it fits. And he was like audibly talking through. He's like, that's so crazy. I've thought about this for so long and never thought to take the next step. Although he said, I know my retirement is impending. Like it's coming.
Right.
There will be a time. He's like, I'm actually outlived what a typical masseuse, like years of employment already is at this point.
Oh, that's wild to think about.
So it was just very cool. And it kind of like spurred this thing of, like he's had this idea and a great idea. And obviously not only a great idea, he's going to personally need it himself if he wants to continue his business.
And so are a ton of other masseuses out there.
Yeah. So it was just really inspiring. And again, great reminder of if he hadn't spoken that aloud to me, it probably would have stayed in his head for quite a long time. Cause he has a fiance. He's like, I haven't talked about this with my fiance. And I'm like, go talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Speak
it.
speak it. So I just
Put
thought
it
that
into
was,
the ether.
yeah, I thought that was a very interesting tie back to what we're talking about right now as well.
I think that I say I think that before everything I say, and I'm going to try to do it differently. Speaking your truth out loud gives it shape. We talked about that earlier. And I think
it's okay. I did see an app out there now that helps you become a better speaker and take some of the words that we say a lot and repurpose them. So like, I don't know, maybe I'll look into it.
Maybe I'll do that. So ways to really do this for us, the ways that we are doing this during our time together tonight is some dream mapping, vision mapping. We talk about what we want to do the rest of the year, what we want to do in 6 months and a year from now, really put pencil to paper on it. Obviously talk the big things out loud. I think that we spoke 6 months ago about wanting to speak at a conference.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we sent out emails.
Yeah.
You sent out emails to do that.
Yeah.
So each step that we're taking is something that we previously spoke out loud.
Yeah. And again, I think it's speaking it out loud and then putting yourself in a position to actually take advantage of the opportunity. So, right, we put ourselves out there to try to do the speaking engagement. And even if the speaking engagement doesn't happen, we're going to go. Mm-hmm. We're going to go and we're going to show up and we're going to find the people so that the next time this event happens, like they know who we are, right?
Yes.
And it's an event that as sourcing gals, we should be at. It's a sourcing show. And we have a couple, I'll say potential clients that might even be looking to attend with us and walk the show with us. But my point is we're going to take advantage. Even if the opportunity is a no right now, there are things that we still can do and we're going to go do them.
We are.
So I think it's really,
and all because
exciting.
We said it out loud, we put it on paper and we said, this will be good for us. This will be good for our podcast, our brand, the way we impact others. And we're going to go for it because it's not just about, we talked about numbers, we talked about our careers, mm-hmm. but it's also about what fills us up, what lights us up, what we want to be working on. We talked about that a lot last night. Mm-hmm. And then we also talked about the kind of impact that we want to have and we want to leave. So with, our career changes, the impact we want to make and what lights us up inside, all of those three things come into account. And it's what really propels forward our dream and our decisions for where we're taking this.
So do you want to share at all a few of the sourcing gal future things that we talked about?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about first, our podcast is going to continue.
Yes.
We feel like that is our platform for advice, support. Anyone can have access to it. So we are excited to continue our once a week podcast.
Yes.
In its entirety. And continue to hopefully do more bougie hotel podcasts. I'm down for this all day long. And maybe some international podcasting, right? As we travel internationally, which is on our vision board, is to get out of the US and get to some of those countries and factories that we know and love and have opportunities to share that with more people.
We've talked a lot about doing some factory tours and really showing people in real time or showing people the reality behind the mm-hmm. theories that we talk about.
So that's for the podcast. And then for our coursework, we're really, really excited about the legs that this has. So for those that don't know, we launched a 6-week course. It's actually still kind of in a beta round right now. We have amazing people that are going through it with us. We have Zoom calls with people. We've been on phone calls with them, sharing emails back and forth about how the process is going. They are people with brilliant ideas.
Yes.
That have a need in the market. And we are helping walk them through from flushing out the idea to becoming a viable product idea and then actually going deep into how to source a factory, how to find them, the templates, the tools, the scripts. I mean, guys, this is all encompassing, right?
Yes.
We're taking them through the journey down to what happens when the product is finished and how to ship it here, right? The full product life cycle, we call it.
Yes. You could legitimately do the course And at the beginning, have an idea. And at the end, be sitting with your prototype on your desk.
So we are really excited. The people that are taking the course are super excited to have this information and this access. And so we see huge potential for this coursework to go a couple ways. So one is to continue to service people like we have currently in the coursework, right? There are people that have other jobs, but have, these ideas that are burning and passions inside of them, or maybe they own product-based businesses, but they're going into a new category. So that will continue to live in perpetuity, hopefully, and it will evolve as we evolve, as the market evolves, as sourcing evolves. Like, it will continue to be a living, breathing course.
And it'll be a cornerstone of what we do.
Exactly. But then we also see our coursework as an opportunity to train the next generation of entrepreneurs. Like, we're talking younger, we're talking maybe even high school. There's a version of our coursework, and then definitely in college and universities, because I know I'm on the board at Ohio State and they have a wonderful fashion and retail studies program, but they're not getting into how to filter and find the right factory on Alibaba. Like, they're not training and teaching that part of it. And there are so many young entrepreneurs, like more than ever these days.
Well, we didn't even learn that at our first corporate career.
No, you're right.
You have to learn it on the job.
Yes.
Which is very tough, especially now with the access that everybody has digitally to factories around the world. There are a lot of first-time entrepreneurs who have great ideas, who want to put them out there, who want this to be their life's work and don't have the resources they need to get started. So we're really focusing on those entrepreneurs, the people who are looking at this industry and say, I want to get into that, whether it's high school, whether it's college. Entrepreneurship programs do not teach this stuff.
Yeah. So we're really excited about this opportunity. And luckily, we both have connections in this space to start vetting it out. So really this fall, we're planning to make connections with our local universities and colleges. Luckily, here in Columbus, we have a lot of them to connect with, and we have close relations with a lot of them. And then even some high school groups that are doing pretty big, like Shark Tank type, entrepreneur groups. And how cool would it be to make a version of this coursework that could support the high schooler? I mean, I was an entrepreneur in high school and I learned it myself on Google. I cobbled it together, and there's learnings in that as well. But if we could set these younger students up for greater and quicker success, like, man, imagine what they could be doing by college.
Wow. So much.
So I think that's a really exciting phase 2 of our coursework that we were dreaming and manifesting about and kind of putting pen to paper on last night. And then last is the reality that Erin and I both have grown up in careers where we make products for a living.
Yes. We love product development.
And so while we love coaching and we love training, we also love just like digging in with a factory and writing that email and seeing our own products come to life. So we definitely think there's more to come in regards to our own way to help others source and manufacture. We're still working through some of the details of what that looks like, the types of clients that we want to work with. Manufacturing is definitely a time consuming thing. And so we also have time freedom as both of our like North Stars here. So we want to make sure that there's a good balance for if we are extending our own services and call it like a white glove, private label manufacturing service to people, that it feels very aligned with our goals, what we're looking to do. But we do think that there could be some opportunities where we're kind of dipping our own toe back in the water to help others, and potentially launching some of our own products that light us up, and creating our
products,
creating our own, additional product-based businesses. So
yeah, but I think, like, simply put, we want to take on a very select amount of clients who we can help them bring their vision to reality. Folks for whom their product or their brand is like their entire business, like not hobbyists.
And I think in the meantime, the coursework that we have is really going to suffice for a lot of the other.
Oh yeah. The coursework, I think, is making a product 101. Even if, like I said, even in the corporate environment we grew up in, so much of what we teach isn't taught. It's learned on the job. So this is your full immersion into this world. Jump right on in, learn everything you need to learn. And then how are we blowing it up from there? Kind of.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's lots of avenues that we see this going down, and we're really excited about all of them. And so, as we mentioned, it will get refined, it will evolve, it will change, and that's okay too.
No choice is final.
Yep. I think the big thing is that Erin and I stay aligned as we maneuver these changes, and that we'll talk through when we start to feel any dissonance or like, hey, I'm really feeling like we should be doing this. And it's like, I don't know about this. Like we'll talk through those things as partners together. But I think the opportunity is all around us. And so it's really just us choosing what feels best for us right now in this phase of life that we're in, right? With young kids and all these things that are happening, like 10 years from now, it could be a whole different story.
Sure. And I think the effort to come here, speak it into reality, talk about the dreams we have for the Sourcing Gals is, of course, the next obvious step.
Yeah.
And on that note, we would love to hear about your big dreams too. However delulu or audacious they may be, those are the best ones. So DM us, comment on YouTube, tell us about your big product dreams, and we would love to chit chat with you about it.
And no, this is a safe space here with the Sourcing Gals.
Yes.
No idea is too big, ever.
No,
Ever.
no, it's not.
We cannot wait to hear your amazing, brilliant, audacious ideas. So until next time, thanks for joining us on
The Sourcing Gals.